Hello everyone. How are you? Hope you all are doing well and you and your families are doing okay. So guys, social media never seems to amaze me. I'm telling you, we do not need to go to the movies anymore. So I seen on social media recently where social media influencers King and Shay seemingly have separated, or should I say, they want the public to believe that they are separated and are pulling out all the stops and all the dirty linens on each other to convince us. Because trust and believe, we know they are that good, so they have to really come strong to convince us. This time, worse after what they did the last time. So many of us really and truly believe it's not a real situation because they are top of the chart on pranking social media, and it has been working for years and it has been proven. Though many of us believe that it is possible because of their situation in the USA, knowing that they came through the border and did not know Trump was going to be trumping very soon. And of course, their views have been going down, but with all the dramas and bangarang going on social media, most people's views would go down because there's a variety to pick from. So, as usual, people will do anything for the views. And most of all, they themselves fully well know that social media strive on negativism and toxic behaviors. Funny thing though, I thought if they really had a problem they could run to Chrissy and CMR, knowing that they came out so strongly defending them in their ungodly ways, with no second thought on the gravity of the situation. Seemingly, social media has turned into a place where everyone now is coming to voice what is going on in their homes, in their workplace, and just totally crashing out on social media. And honestly, I believe they are just cashing in on their share of the pie. Just bear in mind, they are pranksters, and they are a good one at that. Just remember, just recently, them two pulled off one of the biggest homeless scamming and collected loads of money, organized themselves in big house, and turn around and laugh at the suckers who got taken and were manipulated. Bear in mind, they know that social media forgets so easily because they always just love to get caught up in the moment and the excitement of toxicity that sometimes they don't even second think themselves on what is happening. And King and Shay know this. Now guys, based on the fact that King and Shay father and their 3 children ran through the border to the USA, just bear in mind, that when they ran through the border, every step of the way on them entering the US, they stop and cry out for help from social media, and they were collecting monies. Bear in mind, people were suckered in and very invested in the whole entertaining event of them taking this chance with the whole entourage of family to get into the US. And when you look at it, it's nice as a family they did it together, but the fact is that as a family you should be more responsible in planning. But they eventually pulled off the biggest scamming haul of their career. It started similar like this. They were in the cars in the night, bawling and crying, how they're not comfortable in the house, and what is happening. Woman show them bad face, and how the woman and the Shay father couldn't get along, and every peer talk in them vehicle, and so that's how it started, you know. Because you see, if this what they're doing now is the starting of something bigger to come. Either they have to go make them journey back to Jamaica and we lot are going to be paying for it. But this is how it started before. Until we get all caught up, invested, feeling sorry for them that they need somewhere to live. Until the ultimate scam alert. The homeless and they need money. And when people realize what was happening and got upset, they turned and laughed in their face and had the audacity to say them have them social media money save up that don't touch. Actually, it's not Shay who said that, it was King who said that in one of his rants, while trying to convince us that they're good now and see them nice house there. But the thing about it that made me really disappointed in them is even in the beginning when they said, oh, we get a place to stay in, they remember that they went into a shed part of the house that never finished fix up or anything, and they were in there bawling and crying for stuff when really and truly that was just possibly, I think it was some basement area, which really and truly they had acquired the house already and lived in the nicer part of the house. And when that came out, it was very disappointing for many of us fans. So we know they are very convincing and they're very manipulative, and they will descend to any level to collect money. Remember, I told you this. This is the beginning of a greater haul to come. Watch the ride. They right now want to get us all caught up in the whole thing of them separating. The thing about it is that King and Shay separating seems like a joke thing, innit? Is it possible? Yes. But it just seemed like a joke thing because I've never seen a couple that complemented each other more than King and Shay. Him not have no sense too tough in terms of read and write and so on, but Shay have the brain. But he is very articulate. He know how to do him thing and what to say and how to stir up stuff, and she will just keep things smooth and nice. Never see a couple more complimenting of each other more than King and Shay. I remember when King and Shay was staying with this lady, the one that they, I think it's Denise, I'm not sure what her name is, but when they just came up to the USA and they were staying at her house, remember, you know, King and Shay knew the lady before they came to the US, and while they were in Jamaica, that lady was sending skin out picture to King, and King was sending dick flicks to her as well, and King was getting money from this woman and so on. They were having a full-on friendship in their messaging, whether on IG or on WhatsApp or whatever. And at the same time, the girl was friend with Shay. And the thing about it is that Shay knew about it, and Shay did confess during the time of the old rang dangling that King always have different women them inbox and them get things from, and them share pictures and whatever. So to come out and saying that is cheating cause this is a joke thing, because Shay give King long run to do anything that he want to do. There are a couple that will do anything to benefit each other and them not separate. So when somebody's going to say, oh, they separate because of cheating, it's not that. We know there's a bigger plan coming up, because these things in terms of woman thing in back, as long as King take money off a woman and carry on give Shay good. And I rather would believe that if King need to and Shay need to go out of the way and care, as long as the money come back and King I get it, them good read them relationship from the beginning. They complement each other to the max. Open your eyes, guys. You know what I find very disappointing with social media influencer? They have no deal breakers. They have no morals. All that is gone. Meaning there is no level they won't sink to for views, taps and roses, and to get your monies out of your pockets. And when you think about it, and you look around on social media, you can't wrong them. Because the most disgraceful, disgusting, and shameless, nasty and slackest person on social media will get the most support. And worse, they need the money. And they will take it or manipulate it out of you by any means necessary. Let me just do this disclaimer. I myself will never sell my morals or standards or drop my shame tree to the ground for likes and views from anyone on social media. If you like me, you like me. I love to reason with people that I can learn from, and we can be respectful to each other. Just bear in mind, I totally believe in agreeing to disagree, and we keep it moving. Even if any of my subscribers or listeners hear me put out a topic and they disagree with something, as long as you respectfully tell me in the comment section, I listen to it and I take it into consideration. If it is warrant a response, I will say, well, I was looking at it that way. We are big people, nobody is perfect. You understand? But I will never sell my morals. And when I look and see that my children would be seeing this, I love my family and myself too much to drop my standards. But the thing with King and Shay, boy, they choose to run through the border at the wrong time. Them just salt, honestly. If they did it few years ago, I think it would have worked out better for them. Because while they were planning, they never knew Trump was going to come with a big eraser and rub out all of their plans. Because Trump is trumping. So all this fiasco going on could be a trickle down of some effects they are feeling from Trump, but they are not coming to tell the public this. They are going to manipulate their way to get some sort of benefit to help them to go forward in doing what they need to do next. I would say life got cryptic for King and Shay. Anyone that understands what is going on in the USA today, are you surprised that their whole household is rocked and disrupted? Please, we all knew it was going to get rough and tough. Even under normal circumstances, people think that just taking up yourself and going to a foreign country, everything is just hunky-dory like that. It no work like that. Trust and believe. Even for the best of us who legitimate, it don't work like that so easily. In general cases, they would have to separate to stand a chance in the USA. That was before Trump was trumping. And they definitely would have to come public to make it seem real. Now we hear it's alleged they get evicted from the big house. These people are professional liars. Trust and believe me. When I hear King saying stuff like Shay take over all the channels and Shay using him from Jamaica. Oh, I laugh so much. Does that make any sense? Oh, Shay to use him. They've been together how much years? Possibly over 10-15 years, because they have a big daughter. They have 3 children together. And Shay been the one with the brain. There is no using going on here, because there would be no King without Shay. And while I look at King as being creative, You have to have somebody with a brain to actually go through life correctly. So those are the shades just to make him look good. As usual, them always want to feel like he's the one up front over Shay. And Shay don't mind pushing him up front because he's the man. And I know we as women more time we groom in such a way where we push the men them out in front, even though we are turn them neck, we are tell them where to walk go, we are tell them which part to sit down, but to push them up front because I think it's like history have taught us that the men, we should walk behind the men. And a lot of us are stuck with that stigma. So I understand that. When really and truly take it, the person that is most important for their business and whatever they do to get done properly is Shay. As I said, don't get me wrong, I know King is very creative and him chat enough and him know how to stimulate stuff. But when it comes down to it, Shay is the brain. So all those talk with Shay using him and all of that, nothing. And the thing about it, even he's mentioning stuff like Shay cheat on him. Please, we should get a chance to do that. You know, see Shay, though a pretty girl, always all up herself in her house. Like all woman. I love her to bits. Yeah? But I'm just saying, she's not so excited about going on the road and going here and there and so on. The only thing I can say right now, if a situation come up where she have to get married to somebody in the US and him have to get married to somebody in the US separately for anything to happen for them. And I don't think under Trump anyone can get any certification or verification to get married in the country and you're illegal. So I'm telling you, there's a bigger game ahead coming up. One thing I can tell you, in terms of acting, King is Grammy Award winning actor and Shay just tag along right behind him and qualify things to make things look more believable while it's still a lie. So all I got to tell you guys, just sit back and watch. The real meat of the matter will come out soon because all of this is leading up to the real juice and flavor of the Kool-Aid to come right out. And that's where we will be paying dearly for it. Well, those who have money to throw away. Because by then, they will be tugging at your heartstring and your soul and your brain and your thoughts so much so that you just have to help again. Just bear in mind, after King went into the house, you remember what King said? Him said he will never ever go back to Jamaica. I don't know why all of a sudden he thought the USA was his home. I don't know who was fooling him. But Trump was not trumping yet. I know social media easily forget things. But I can't forget after they pull off the big scam and went into the house. I remember when King blatantly said, for years, while they were collecting on YouTube, he never withdrew his YouTube money because he had plans. And even though we think him a fool, he was never a fool. When I think about that, and I'm thinking as a man with a woman, which I think they should get married, and they have 3 children, plus Shay, our father, tagging along, why King and Shay never use that money to at least buy a piece of land in Jamaica instead of risking it coming to the USA? They lived down in Clarendon where they could have easily done so. Make it make sense. Because I'm trying to understand how these people think they're so smart at manipulating, but not smart at doing the right thing that makes sense. Because I know if they were in Jamaica and we as the people that are on social media see that King and Shay try, even pull off a prank, say, boy, people are throw them out of the house at Jamaica and this and that, and then can't take it no more. And then get a piece of land. You know, some people that help them build the house. Now, that would be a smart thing, it wouldn't be a scam, it would be a real thing. Get a piece of land and convince the people them to help them probably finish pay for it and build a home. And Shay father seemed like a very handy man. I know he would put some work in and be creative. And of course, King says that he used to do cement work and work on site and all of them something then. Well, put those skills to use. From all we know them on social media, we see them from them living in a zinc hut to half build house, half finish house, then they rent house and all of them something there. While they were doing so well on social media. So why is it that that was not the thought? Instead, if all of those money, if really and truly as King said, they never drew it yet until when them reach America and they put it into trying to get that house, just the argument's sake, and they end up losing it. It's a big loss that, you know, and a big waste that, you know, because your mind should tell you, say, listen to me, based on what is going on, try and see if you can control or own something a yard before you go abroad. But as you know, we're just picking at stuff. We don't 100% know the truth, because guess what happened? They're telling us what we want to hear. Not me though. With all toxicity and excitement and people grouping up in box. I heard one lady saying, Shay, don't come out here with your business and say anything, but more of ask you something. Explain this to me, because I hear King said. But you know, don't talk your business and hear. But and this too, can you explain this? Because King said this, and I want to know if it's true. Lord Jesus, these people are so toxic. The reality is, the real story could be what they are hiding is a possibility that Trump wants them out of the country and they don't want to go back to Jamaica. And that is the hidden reason. I would bet my last dollar. So all these show they're putting on is to get attention and eventually get money flowing, because eventually, trust and believe, they are going to need their fans on their way back to Jamaica. And if it's a thing that Trump is not trumping them out of the US, they need evidence out there on social media that they are separated, so they can get help separately to get themselves organized in the US. It's all a plan. So guys, stay calm. It too shall be revealed eventually. The thing that went against them in their travels, it was the wrong time. The lot of them chose to go through the border. It was just bad timing. That's why I always say, from them land in the US and they're able to get a little foot in, go find some little evening jobs to help out with their social media funds. Because if you're not top of the game on social media funds alone can't look after family of 6. Never. Utilities alone in the USA, plus you always have to have food in your pantry, traveling around, be it mortgage or rent. Even if you had $1 million US, if you're not making the amount of money needed plus to look after such a big family monthly, that money will go faster than you think. But if you guys overthink the value you hold on social media, So now you are trying the toxic way, especially digging up the nasty gritty past of your lives and making up stuff to influence social media support. Let's see how much that will work for you lot. Because this kind of benefiting from social media, all this showcase, doesn't last too long. It's toxic. And you have to keep coming up with stuff and continue and continue. And eventually, King and Shay will actually lose their flavor. So don't be fooled that the toxic and nasty way is what is selling on social media. What works for one don't works for all in the long run. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my platform please. Love you all. Bye for now.